Fuck me. Damn it.
Exciting news now, the 84 lumber delivery that we got just showed up. The guy's bringing it in with the Moffett now. Bear's excited, so we can finally build Jordan his room. So we'll get this thing going. Yeah, that's perfect. What'd you get, Jordan?
Like lumber. Oh, that's a ton of plywood.
Nice.
Okay, kids, I just made the boys burgers. We've got all the materials here from 84. They think they're about to take a break, but we got shit to do. So, enough sitting around, you slap dickaroos. Literally. What is this, vacation? I guess meat sweats are my fault, always. Jordan.
Put my boots on.
I never know what he's doing there. Game plan here is starting on the CNC room. In order to run the power to the rest of the shop, we're gonna have to have the CNC room done because we're mounting all of our power from the outside of it. So we gotta get ripping, which means, wait, we should probably plan something first, huh?
What's the plan, John?
There's a couple factors we have to take into consideration here. One, she's wide, almost 8 feet wide. And our doors aren't that wide, so I don't think we're gonna be able to use those. As well as if we ever want to drive like the forklift and, hold on. Come the Ninja Turtle to the party. Whoop, don't hit the camera. All right, so here's the thing. Not only is she beautiful, but she's nimble as shit. But if we want to be using this forklift to get things off that table, we're not gonna need anything that high out of the room.
Correct.
If we just go to the height of this and make the doors big enough to drive this in, we won't even ever need to pick up
Anything.
so we're gonna have to make new doors, I think. I've never driven a forklift, and I probably should.
What am I saying? No! I learned how to use stickers, and I can learn how to use this.
I'm not gonna lie, pretty pumped.
I just got it yesterday.
I mean, I only spun like 11 donuts on it so far. All right, so that's about 7 feet tall, and that's 8 feet wide. If we do 8 foot by 8 foot opening.
No, that's about 8 feet tall. That's at 86.
84 is 7 feet.
Is it?
So,
Yeah, it's like 7 foot.
because that's like 7 foot tall, and that's 8 feet wide, if we did an 8 foot by 8 foot door, we could technically get in sheet goods that we would use for the most part, vertical and horizontal, some way or another. And it should work dimensionally for the lumber that we have.
Yeah,
they're
sounds
big.
good.
They're gonna be 2 big doors, like 4 by 8, which would be awesome. Who doesn't want full sheets of plywood as doors? Terrorists. That's who. All right, let's doodle. I originally had it as a 16 by 20. That means we would have an 8 foot door with 4 foot walls on each side. With it being 8 foot wide, that's only 4 feet on each side. If we widen it out to 20, we could have about 6 feet on each side. And I think we have the materials to do so. We're doing 16 on center studs because we've got 16-inch wide insulation for the soundproof. So should we just make it taller? Probably. We'll build these in sections like this. We'll do a 6 foot by, I think we have 10s. Yeah. Let's start making walls. Oh yeah, we should probably move everything out of the way.
We're gonna start by making those 2 6 foot walls that John showed in the drawing. I've got 4 8 foot 2x4s. We'll cut 2 feet off those. That'll be the top and bottom plates. Then we'll throw some studs on it, and before you know it, we'll have ourselves a little wall. Then we'll make the little center part, stand that whole thing up, and then make the second wall. I don't know how many walls we're actually making, but we'll get there. Little framing tip, I'm by no means an expert, but I always take the top and bottom sill, mark them together. So I mark my end, and then I'll pull 16 on center, give myself marks, and I always put an X next to where the stud's going to live, so that way I don't get confused when I get everything all laid out on the floor. All right, so we have our studs cut now. Little framing tip. Ooh, is this just the tip with John and Sam?
Oh, it turned into a party. You shouldn't let me behind the camera.
So when you're framing a wall, if you're gonna frame the wall on the floor and stand it up instead of what's called stick framing, which is where you would build it in place, you wanna be conscious of the fact that no 2x4 is straight, none of them. Even the really nice ones have a little bit of a curve to them. So you wanna be conscious of what's called the crown when you're doing this. You wanna figure out which way it's curving, and you wanna make sure that your curves are down so that when you lay them on the floor, you have 2 points of contact down and not one in the center. Also, if you have them all wibbly wobbly and backwards, putting sheeting on the wall is gonna be miserable. You want all those curves to be going the same side, typically the outside of the wall.
Working hard or hardly working, Jordan?
Always working hard.
Ooh, grab an impact, we're gonna race.
Is this like a hoagie?
Hey, real quick while we're building out, I wanna thank this week's sponsor, 84 Lumber. 84 Lumber is amazing and they're supporting us in building out the whole shop. We're super stoked about it. They've got stores all over the place, and Sam and I literally walked into the store, told them our problems, they helped us fix it, and they came out to the yard to help us load it up. It was awesome. They have an insane selection of materials for all things construction. So if you're in the market or you're gonna do your next project, I highly suggest checking out 84. Now let's get back to the build. So we've got some header boards here, and we're gonna keep this as wide as we can. These are 8-footers, so after framing, we'll have a door opening slightly under 8 feet, which should be fine. But we're gonna put these together. I've got the new power stack from DeWalt. This thing feels like a 12-volt drill, it's so little, but she smokes, so. Get me lined up down there, and then when we get to the middle, we'll race. Look how fast this thing is. Lightning! It's only a 2 amp hour battery. It's gonna be 3, 2, 1, pull.
Okay.
Okay?
You want me to count down?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Super close. I think he started early, but super close. Shall we do it again?
Reaction. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Smoked it! I love watching tools just get tiny and more powerful.
There's still those old guys that are like, I don't believe in batteries, they're not powerful.
That was wrong. We forgot the 1/2-inch sheet that goes between, so we're gonna squirrelify it for after. We got so excited about racing drills.
How many screws are in this thing? Oh my.
Looks like it was somebody's first day.
You're fired. The box is fired. We'll stand her up, Jordan, and then I'll buzz a screw in the bottom, and then it should be okay to be held, and I'll grab the big level. Sam didn't cut that back enough.
I sure did.
Sure didn't.
Sure didn't.
Someone come here and hold it.
It's like when your dad decides to actually build you that tree house you wanted, and you say you're gonna help, but you really just kind of stand there and hold stuff and have no idea what's going on. And you're just waiting for the tree house to be done. That's me right now.
I want my own room. Let me give it to him. Any help? No.
Jordan has a room. We just need to add the last piece of wall on, so we put a 16-foot wall up, but we weren't sure what to do here on the end because we have a lot of things in the way.
Yeah, so we have to tie into this metal purlin here. I think stick framing around is the best bet. Because we're gonna have to stick frame to get around the wire. Get real squirrely. Me. When Jordan asked for a bigger room, I gave in like the amazing dad that I am. And then I ordered materials for a 16-foot wide room, and we built a 20-foot wide room. So all of our spans are 16s. We have a stack of 16s.
Yep.
Someone's going back to 84. It's the first time we had a big girl in the shop. She never got her feet in here before.
Has she ever been inside before?
She's not been inside. Your truck's been inside. Jason's.
I mean, just in general, has she ever gone inside?
She's never been inside anything. Literally never been indoors. You don't turn into a house cat on me now, you hear? Stay hungry. Let's load it. So the solution we came up with is we're gonna take back all the 16s because we literally can't use them, and we're gonna get the proper and appropriate materials. I feel like this is every single job we've ever done involving a 2x4. We've never had enough, and if we did, they were in the wrong size. If you've been there, leave a comment, because I'm almost positive anyone that's ever done a project like this has been there. Back to the store, let's go. So because 84's got it all, we've got what we actually need in stock. So we're gonna unload the rest of the stuff that I incorrectly ordered, and then get the right stuff, and then get back to work. So the way we're gonna finish this wall is what's traditionally called stick framing. So we're gonna frame it in place, hit these next few walls out, get this thing up, and then we'll lay some roof joists.
How's it going, Jordan?
It's good, you know. They help me do all the acrobatic stuff. That's my new job.
John's making all the noise over there.
When he puts his headphones in, he's just in his own world.
All right, well, now we get to start sheeting.
Oh, sheet.
Oh, we got 30 minutes. Should we get one sheet up?
Shit, yeah.
So we've got tongue and groove plywood here that we want to put on the wall. The reason why with this is because screw everything in the wall. If we did this right, it should line up pretty good.
And it doesn't.
Damn it! So now we're gonna start from here, cut our tongue off, and paste her in. That's why you put your studs on centers, so you can screw stuff into them. They're all wrong. Seems like a problem for tomorrow. Okay, children. I shouldn't call you guys children. You're mostly grown adults, and I respect that. Us, on the other hand, are not. So, some way or another, our studs that are 16 on center are not actually 16 on center. That's leaving us in a bit of a pickle, and by us, I mean Sam and Jordan, because they're gonna get to do the BS that it's gonna require to make this work. So we've got 3/4 inch tongue and groove sheets from 84 Lumber, and these should be landing here, but obviously they're not, because idiots. We went with tongue and groove, they lock together, and we also went with wooden sheet instead of drywall, so we have something to screw into. So we're gonna start putting these up, and just kind of getting them ready to go, because we've got to get electrical in, because I'm sick and tired of not having a wood shop. This is the first time Sam and I have ever worked with a tongue and groove material for wall cladding or framing or anything in that regard. The reason we went with it is it'll hold nice and tight to itself, and you won't get any peeling on the edges. That's the intent here. And this is typically used, and correct me if I'm wrong, people, subflooring, because it locks together for the same kind of reasons. It gives you a nice kind of smooth surface, I think. But we did not know this when we were making our framing, which we made traditionally as 16-inch centers. So that means between these two pieces are 16 inches, and every board is on the same side of the line. Therefore, your 48-inch wide piece lands, with half of it on a stud. So what happened here was, if we go half on this stud, the tongue hits and not the flesh of the board. And essentially what we think happened is, because we're rookies and a bit of jagoffs, we didn't know that you lose an inch, essentially a half inch on each side, because of the tongue and the groove on the one side. So I think the correct way to go about it would be, we'll put the second sheet up before we screw in this seam, and then we'll screw through the tongue into our stud, and then we're gonna hit our 16-inch on center still. It should still work and be uniform and not have to have 1,000 nailers put inside. So high five to that, Sam. I found the problem and then solved the problem, and then Sam agreed that we both have problems, and now we're gonna go to therapy.
Is that in the budget?
You got something to say, Bear?
He looks concerned, but he got a pedicure, so his nails are looking. I'm going to put the whole sheet in. I'm going to trace it all the way up and down, and then I'm going to track saw on that line, because that'll account for any sort of squirreliness that's involved in this, and it'll be a way cleaner finish, because we want it to be flush with the edge. We don't really care if it's straight. Bear, what's he doing?
Ow. I actually never opened one of these.
Really? Oh, Jordan.
Ew, why does it say like old man pubes? That's what they do with your pubes when you die.
It wasn't as exciting. Anyway, we got the sheets on the outside of the wall, so now we have to put the insulation inside the walls. This should go pretty quick, and then we can do the ceiling and the inside walls. We're hoping John will get back though, because the sheets are heavy, and he always leaves when it's time to do the heavy work, so we're gonna try and procrastinate that and do other things.
Jordan!
Yeah.
This is the first time you've ever done insulation, right?
Yeah.
Do you literally have any idea what you're doing?
Just putting it in.
Yeah? Nice.
Cut and plug.
Why doesn't it have any paper on it?
Because this is rock wool.
And?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's unfaced insulation.
So interior wall insulation typically is unfaced. Yes. This rock wool is specifically made to dampen noise, and I'm not gonna lie, my booming, masculine, very dominating voice is not escaping this room already.
Oh, debatable.
No, there's no echo like there normally is.
Hey.
This rules. All right, so we're gonna finish getting these walls in, and then now that I'm back, ceiling time. You'll be glad to know Jordan went and got the world's jankiest drywall lift, and so we're carrying the heaviest thing we could, which is 3/4 inch pine plywood. How we doing, Jay?
Great.
Great.
That thing.
Shoulder work.
I'll let them work.
The darkness is coming. We're closing out the sun.
Not only will this room be soundproof, but it'll be black as night. It'll be Batman's bedroom. Miss Piggy has now turned into Batman.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Now me and Sam are gonna knock out the rest of the walls, and there's a lot to do left, but it's coming together nicely.
Let's see your hut. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
So as you guys can probably tell, it is pretty dark in here, which means we need lights. So I'm super stoked that we have some LEDs from American Green Lights that we're gonna be putting in here. This thing will be sparkling like a star in no time. The boys are gonna rip on that, and I'm gonna get some other electrical done. So, for those of you who are wondering why you go with LEDs, is because they light you up like a shining star. So much better in here. We're actually gonna be able to see what we're doing. And what's funny is we've adapted to the poop light that we have out here. We're all like squinting.
I need you guys to come around this side of the camera and just see
We're all
how
squinting.
terrible out there.
Oh, it is awful out there.
It does look like
So
poop.
bad.
It
It's
looks
just
like dirty poop water.
So this is why we love American Green Lights, because it looks unbelievable in here. Now we just gotta finish insulating the roof and get this place cleaned up, and I think that might be a wrap. A few more things to go though. Don't take your boots off yet.
Ready? She's alive again.
She breathes. Red PPE. Go ahead. I'm waiting for like a screw to shoot me in the eyeball. This will definitely stop it, right?
Been a while.
I hope you haven't forgotten. I mean, it's been like a month. Is it like riding a bike? She's back! Why can I still hear it?
Well, there is a giant hole where the door is.
Oh, we need a door. We should probably build one of those.
next
When we're done with electrical, finish that back wall. I guess that's a wrap on this one. If you guys want to see how we did the rest of this chaos, you better subscribe.